What's going on, guys? It's your boy Spudzie here, and today we just had the live stream going over all the new spears, including the Revenant. As someone who's made this profession for over 1,000 hours, made hundreds of videos on it, and participate in every game mode, I feel inclined to give my feedback on what we were just shown. For those of you that just want the summary, I'll just say it. The weapon sucks. Obviously, we don't know the numbers on it. From a gameplay perspective, it's very clunky. So I'm just going to be going over a few of the points of feedback that I have and leave the stream playing in the background. Enjoy. So before I dip into the bads, let's go ahead and talk about the one good thing. I will say that the animations on this weapon are actually really nice. I love like the ink kind of color splotch that's going on. I think the sound effects are really good too, especially on Spear 4, that huge like circle AoE. You'll see it here in a little bit. It looks really nice, honestly. But in terms of positive feedback, that's really all I can give. So now let's go ahead and get into the negatives. So number one, the animations are so damn slow. From the auto attack to every single skill, this weapon is just way too slow. Like, you're gonna see these auto attacks come out, oh my god, it's actually so slow. Like, I can't even fathom like what they were thinking. The only thing I could think of the whole time is like, maybe they thought that when you put it with impossible odds it'd be too broken, and I realized it's a Condi weapon, so like, why would I, you know, I don't know. Not sure what that was about. And then just all the skills, like they all have like cast times, and these cast times just take way too long. Like, I'm gonna get dazed about 3 or 4 times by a thief, a mesmer. Even the new ranger spear can daze me for 3 seconds. Like, I'm just gonna not be able to use any of these skills. It is not probable at all that these will land. And that's talking in just strictly PvP and World v World. When it comes to PvE, I mean, maybe if the numbers are good, then yeah, but from a PvE perspective, it's like anything could probably work, so we're not gonna really go too heavy into that side. For my second point, it's gonna have to be the range. This weapon has a 600 range. While it is a hybrid weapon, you're able to use it in melee and range, 600 is practically nothing at all. Like, you're gonna be standing like what, like a few feet away and just throwing your very slow auto attack spear. It just makes no sense. I mean, they did mention adjusting the range to 900, which I think would be better for a hybrid. Maybe even 1200, honestly. It's just, I don't know. The animations just being that slow don't justify a 600 range, because it's like by the time that you even throw like 1 auto attack or 2 auto attacks, they're gonna be on you. You're gonna be close to them. Like, they're gonna be out of your range by then, is what I'm trying to say. There's so many dashes, shadow steps, like teleports at this point in the game, where like it just doesn't make it's not practical. Like, a lot of things in this weapon are just not practical, and I think that's gonna be a glaring issue once we get the beta next week. I think, yeah, we get the beta next week. We're gonna see that this weapon is unusable. Moving on to point 3, only Torment. We only have Torment on this weapon. Yes, it has slow and chill on some weapons, but you won't be consistently applying those condis. Slow and chill are some really great condis to have on a weapon, but our only damaging condition is Torment. What this means is that any condition cleanse, like if you have 1 condition cleanse, you're cleansing Torment. All our damage is gone. So in competitive game modes, when you want to be, you know, applying all your condis, stack up that ramping damage, we're only gonna have Torment, and all it takes is like, you know, one little condi cleanse, 1 weapon swap, and that Torment is gone. There are no cover condis like how the short bow has, you know, bleeding, Torment, and burning. That's a really good condi weapon. It also has more range as well, so it's like, I don't know, just feels like a worse short bow in that sense. This thing needs to have bleeding on it. It does have some vulnerability, I believe, but we need like another damaging condi. Even Torment and bleeding, like that would be a fine combo. Maybe if they could add burning on there, that'd be really good, but it just needs at least 1 more to be somewhat competitive, and even then that would just be scraping the surface. Now on to the last point. Ground targeting. Our most impactful skill on this weapon is gonna be Spear 5, and that ability is ground targeted. Now, it wouldn't be a problem if it came out like, you know, super fast, but this thing comes out so slow, and we're supposed to build up stacks by actually hitting targets. If you don't hit anyone, you're not building up Abyssal Rays on this thing. And if you're not building up stacks, this ability does no damage, and the whole purpose of the weapon is just out the door. And in PvP, in World v World, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are not going to be landing these slow ass abilities on actual like real opponents. Okay, on bots in like bot games, you might land it on a bot. I don't even know if you can land it on a bot, if I'm being honest. But like in reality, you're not going to be landing this skill as much as you think you are. Even in some PvE encounters, the boss like it'll like shift or move, or or the mobs will move, and you will be missing the skill. So I mean, like I said, this whole weapon is just not practical. It's a cool idea, like I get it, like this could actually do a lot of damage, but you're not gonna land it. And yes, you do have Spear 4 to pull everyone all together and then land your Abyssal Rays, but for starters, Spear 4 is a ground targeted, so it's like, are you gonna land that? And then on the other side, it's like you only have that for like at most like every 20 seconds. So it's just not practical. I know I've harped on for a while now about PvP and World v World, but if you look at it from a PvE standpoint, yeah, you'll land these skills, but just think about it. The weapon is just so clunky. Like, you're going to be spending half your time casting animations. You're standing there, still just, you're casting Spear 5, you're casting Spear 4, you're just doing your slow auto attacks. Like, the weapon's just going to feel so slow, and imagine trying to fit in weapon swapping into that. I don't know, I feel like it's just going to make this rotation just feel super like mud. Like, you're going to be having to sit there and stay in Spear for a very long time to get your damage off, and then you swap over to like short bow, and you drop short bow 4, 3 into 2 into 5, and then you swap back into the slow Spear. It's just gonna feel very clunky. In conclusion, this weapon lacks identity. It doesn't have a clear goal of what it's trying to actually do. Obviously, it's supposed to be a Condi hybrid damage weapon, but we already have that. We have short bow. Condi rev builds don't need another, DPS weapon that effectively does the exact same thing. If you have short bow and Spear on the same build, yeah, you'll be doing damage, if you can land your abilities, but you have no defensives at all. Like, you have to rely strictly on your traits and your skills. So I really think that if they wanted to make the Spear a bit better, they should pivot into a different direction with it and try to make it more utility focused, like how they're supposed to be. Maybe add some Aegis, some block, a projectile hate onto the skills. That'd make the weapon so much better and a lot safer, and actually give it an identity besides just being, oh, it's another short bow, except it's just worse. But that's all I have for you guys. Let me know down below what you think. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? What would you do? What would you change? And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Spear beta next week. New rev video very soon. Peace out.